Bienvenidos, bienvenidas una vez más, queridos oyentes. Vamos a estar aquí hoy, por fin, con una banda de habla inglesa. Hoy estamos con Dakota Theim y ahora va a ser el cambio a hablar en inglés. Vamos a tener los subtítulos como siempre. Entonces, hello Dakota, how are you? How are you doing? How is your day?
Good. I'm
Welcome.
doing good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We are so happy to have you here. It's like an honor. I don't know. Your music is so good.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. That means a
Yeah,
lot. Thank you.
we have a lot of friends here that hear you and they say like, oh, you need this word, eh? You need to have a Dakota in the podcast. Yeah. Okay, let's try
Oh,
them.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You're kind of cutting in and out though. It's kind of hard to hear a little bit.
Okay. But the thing is that here we go with some questions about you, about your project, about everything. The first one will be like how the project start, how Dakota Theim come together, how
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah. I can talk a bit about that. I took piano lessons when I was a little kid. So I started really young. I think I was like 7 years old when I started playing the piano. And I really didn't like it at first, mainly because I was playing a lot of songs I didn't like, and I hadn't really developed my own taste in music yet. And that came eventually later on. But when I was in high school, I really started listening to a lot of, like Pink Floyd and the Beatles and that kind of stuff, and just kind of became obsessed with it. And then I eventually started writing my own songs, kind of in that spirit, trying to capture that kind of experience. And yeah, that's kind of where it started. And over time, I learned how to play guitar, and I taught myself how to play the drums and bass and everything. And I started learning how to record my own songs, and so I would write them, and then I would play all the different parts and record little demos on my computer, and eventually shaped them into what I've been doing now. So that's kind of the whole story in a nutshell.
That's crazy because yesterday we were recording in another band, and they say mostly like Beatles is like a common point for a lot of people, eh? I don't know. They have something. The Beatlemania is real, eh?
Oh yeah, totally. It still exists now,
Yeah, you hear them and it's like, I don't know, could be like a short part of, I don't know, Hard Day's Night or another album, and it's like, good, you're pretty good.
Yeah. They stand the test of time. They're still just as good as they were back then.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well,
Yeah.
I know piano is like a fight for everyone that is like 5, 7, because they don't teach you the I don't know, the songs that you would like to. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to when you're that young, you don't really know what you want to play yet. Like when I first started, I loved playing the piano. I really, because I always loved music, and I love to play it. But learning like children's songs and stuff, I didn't really want to. I wasn't interested in that. So everything they were teaching me, I didn't enjoy playing. So I would just go on my own and try and figure out different things that I liked more.
Yeah, that's that's the way you can do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's start talking about the story behind the name. but it's your name, right? Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah,
particular meaning or I don't know significance behind it?
yeah. You'll have to ask my parents that. I don't know. That's just, well, my name Dakota, like my grandparents are from, like the state in the United States, North Dakota and South Dakota.
Yeah,
They're like, yeah. So my grandparents came from there, and when I was a kid, my parents named me that because they thought it sounded cool. It was unique, and they had never heard of anyone named that before. But now it's kind of a common name. Well,
yeah,
not super common, but like Dakota Fanning, and
yeah.
so
That kind of funny. Yeah, sure, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've actually never met a girl named Dakota though. I've only met
me neither,
boys
eh?
named Dakota. Yeah. Yeah.
So
uh,
yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it's well, that's kind of why I decided to choose my name as, to as a musician releasing my music. I just decided to stay with my own name because it's unique, Um and I didn't really have like a band name in mind or anything, and I just kind of, at first I always kind of did everything myself, so I just kept my name.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. So,
Thank
well, yeah, we have this story. So, for people that is listening to us, what genre of music would you say best describe your sound? I don't know. Like, is there any specific influence that may shape your musical style?
Yeah, like how would I describe my own sound?
Yeah,
Yeah. Um yeah, I think I have a lot of different influences. I mean, I think the foundation at its core, it's very much inspired by some of those artists I mentioned earlier, like like specifically like Paul McCartney and like some Pink Floyd and stuff. And but I also I grew up listening to a lot of like bossa nova and Brazilian music, and my parents played that a lot, like um, kind of some jazz stuff. So I think that sometimes creeps in there a little bit too. Um, but I'm really inspired by like songwriters that play a lot of the instruments themselves, like Stevie Wonder and um, like Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. Um, and then another big influence is the Bee Gees. I grew up listening to the Bee Gees a lot too. So there's a little bit of that soul in there, and Marvin Gaye is another one too that I grew up listening to. So yeah, it's like a blend of it's kind of like an eclectic blend of like pop and rock and like soul and funk. That's how I would describe it. And it definitely captures like kind of a vintage spirit too, like a lot of 70s influence. But I try and keep it fresh, and I want to make sure it feels new too. I don't want to just copy something from the past. Does that make sense?
yeah, sure, for sure. Uh,
Cool.
you said something like fresh. Yeah, your music have something. I don't know. It's like you're even have magic in it. I don't know. Feels so fresh, so peaceful sometimes. But on others,
Yeah.
is really good to I don't know. Just sit and listen and close my eyes and just breathe, and then the melodies and lyrics are really good. I don't
Oh
know.
wow. Thank you. That's amazing. I love to
Yeah,
hear that. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Angelica, that is the co-founder of the club, um, and I were listening to you all day. That's something that we do when we do the interviews for the podcast. We only hear the artists that we are going to interview,
Hmm.
we only go like the sound of we only going backwards, just listening and listening and listening. It's like a circle, and it's perfect and it's pure. I don't know. I have a lot of that.
Ah, thank you so much. That's awesome. You said
Yeah,
you said you have like a lot of friends that listen to my stuff too.
yeah, for sure. I don't know
Wow.
how they found you. Oh, I know how they find you, but I don't know Spotify and I don't know Deezer, YouTube Music, even. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot uh, ways to find you, but yeah, they were like trying to push me to contact with you and talk
Wow,
because they really love your music.
that's
Yeah,
amazing. That's so cool. I'm always really fascinated by how people discover it, you know? Because my it's not like I'm not super well known or anything, but uh, you know, like people all over the world in little areas find it somehow, and it's like, wow, this is crazy, you know? That's really cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. The, the people is just like doing a lot of stuff, and they find you, and a good a good moment of my
Did
life.
you did you just find it on Spotify or?
Yeah, I found you by one song that is I don't know. It's from 2020. Is on the run.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
I've there's when I say like a pandemic and all stuff, bring some pretty good things. Like I don't know your album, but yeah, that song I don't know in that moment was pretty good for me to
Wow,
hear that.
thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that one was I was kind of trying to make like a Beach Boys kind of a song with that one. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
a
can
lot of
tell, but
influence in there.
yeah, yeah, like the with the harmonies and just the it kind of has a um kind of that like surf like mellow like pretty chill surf kind of sound or something, you know?
Yeah, something that all of us were trying to I don't know recover or take from the pandemic. I don't know how was that for you?
How was the pandemic?
Yeah,
It was I mean it was really hard obviously in many ways as it was for everybody. But in terms of making music, it was extremely productive. Just because
yeah,
I was I was home so much, and actually I was living with my parents at the time, and they let me set up a studio in their living room. So I moved all their furniture out of the living room and set up a table and put my drum set up and my guitar amps and keyboards and all that, and I made the Tangled Heart record in their living room right there. And I it took like I mean it took like a year and a half to like write and record the whole thing, I think. Um, but yeah, it was a really productive time. I would spend like all day every day writing and recording, and it was a lot of fun. Um, and I haven't been as productive since then, just because I've been working more and doing other things. But the pandemic was very good for being productive and just recording a lot. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well, we are here talking about I don't know producing. Can you talk about the songwriting process? I don't know how do you
Yeah,
usually go to about in creating new music?
yeah. I usually I start out with a guitar or piano. That's and actually sometimes some like the last year or two I started writing more with like rhythm in mind. So I would start with like a drum beat. Just I like to switch up my process, but sometimes I'll start with a drum beat. I'll just play something on the drums and then record it, and then I'll write a song to that, so it fits a certain rhythm. But most of the time I just start with a guitar or piano and find some chords that I like and just kind of putting chords together until it feels good. And then I start kind of singing or humming like a melody over that. And I just kind of keep shaping it. I kind of think of it as like a sculpture, like you start with a big lump of clay and you're like crafting it and molding it and shaping it until it looks good or until it sounds good to you. And then usually at that point, I go back and write lyrics to it. And sometimes if you're lucky, that all comes at the same time, but usually I have to go back and try and fit words to the melody that I made. And sometimes, I've written songs in like 20 minutes and I've written songs in 2 weeks, so it just depends on the song, and it's never really the same experience, and then for lyrics, I sometimes will have like a phrase or something or like a idea or a topic that I want to write about. And because I've discovered that if you start writing a song and you have no idea what it's about, it's like you're just gonna bang your head against the wall forever,
Yeah,
you gotta
for sure.
you gotta have like some sort of idea in mind before you start, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting. The thing is that I don't know. The paper is the phone because I don't know. Do you write on handwriting?
I usually sometimes I write lyrics down like on paper, or sometimes like in my notes app on my computer,
Yeah,
um,
mostly.
yeah, it's easier to keep track of, I think, on the computer. But and then I'll either just memorize the chords and the melody, or I'll like record a little voice memo on my phone, and
Yeah,
then I pretty much always make a demo of the song with with guitars and keys and drums and everything and vocals, and then I'll listen to that for a while and kind of and then I'll send it to friends and stuff for feedback and to my bandmates as well, and because my bandmates play on the songs quite a bit too, depending on what it is. But and then after listening to the demo for a while, I'll go back and work on the final version, which is much more polished, and I take a lot more time to work on those. So yeah, it's very fun. I love it. It's very fulfilling,
yeah, for sure it is. I don't know. Lyrics are pretty good and everything, but what inspires you? I don't know. Is there any recording themes or messages that you would like to, I don't know, talk about in your songs?
Any sort of what? Sorry.
Themes, or I don't know. Mm,
Oh, like what inspires me,
yeah,
like
like what
to
inspires
sing
you?
about?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my songs are like love songs, and they're whether it's in relationships I've had in the past or current ones, or but lately I've kind of been writing about more different themes. Like I just released a song that came out on June 9th called The High Life. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to that one, but
yeah,
you did?
yeah.
Cool.
It's an
Yeah,
EP
it's a fun one. It's
like with 5 songs, and Angeline my favorite.
What's that?
Angeline
Oh
my
yeah.
my favorite. Yeah, pretty
Oh
good.
wow, thank you. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. Yeah, all the newer ones are a bit more. They're less like. I think they're less like direct love songs. Like they're like the High Life I was saying is kind of about like this idea that people are always putting forward their best impression, whether it's on social media or whatever, and it always looks like people like have a perfect life, but the reality is often not
they're
that,
kind of fake.
Yeah, and it's not trying to be like a diss to anyone, like I don't know, it's just supposed to kind of
Be real.
express the
Yeah.
yeah. It's just kind of supposed to express like sometimes when you see like people living like an amazing life or whatever, like it makes you feel like you're not doing enough or like
For your age, for your work, for your, I don't know, studies. People that have dozen studies, that have been go to college, I don't know. And
exactly.
they have a lot of money, they have a lot of fame, a lot of, I don't know, they are on the TV, on the scene. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
You are just in your own crying because I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully not, but maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one theme that I've been writing about. But yeah, I don't know. Like I wrote a song about like friendship recently as well. It's kind of a love song to my friends, So yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty good to hear that. That way, I don't know. Maybe we could talk about, I don't know, how how do you feel this career? How do you feel like a memorable moment? How do you feel about, I don't know, that day that you say, I will do music because it made me feel great and people feels great also. So I don't know if you have that day, if you are already have that day. I don't know.
If I already have what? Sorry.
That day that you find that person that say you, your music, it's wonderful, changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how have I found that yet? Is that what you're asking? I mean, yeah, sometimes people have messaged me and said stuff like that, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like the fact that something that I created can touch someone so deeply is it's the ultimate reward. It's like the most fulfilling thing, that something that I've felt and experienced and expressed in the form of a song or whatever, can someone else on the other side of the world can relate to that, and it makes them feel better too, maybe. And yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's the most rewarding thing ever, it's really special. So, and that hasn't happened like a lot, but there's been people that have messaged me and said stuff like that, and it's really special,
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You were saying us that you have a home studio mostly, but I don't know. Do you have any particular riddles or routines before going to the stage or entering into the studio? I don't know.
Oh yeah, when we play live, or we're actually playing a show tonight.
Good luck.
In Portland. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you
it should be fun.
again for having us here.
Oh yeah, no, my pleasure. Yeah, no, I don't have to be there for a while, so I got plenty of time. But yeah, I don't really have. I mean, sometimes I'll do like vocal warm ups, making all sorts of silly noises and stuff. But that's kind of it. I don't really have like a strong ritual that I do or anything. I don't like to think about it too much. I think that's kind of where my mind is at. Like I don't like to overthink what I'm going to do on stage or or in the studio. I just like to let it flow and happen naturally, you know. So
Yeah. How is your relation with the public, with the people in the
with
stage?
how's my relationship with the stage, like performing?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's probably the most fun thing actually. I wish we could do it more, you know. I'd like to be able to go on tour and stuff. Um, but yeah, I love it. It's always so much fun, and people sing along in the crowd, and that's always really exciting to see. And yeah, it's a blast. I love it so much. And the bandmates that I have are like some of my best friends, and we have really good chemistry on stage, and we just always have such a good time up there. And it's like a party every time, you know.
Yeah, sure. So no, maybe we could talk about your goals or aspiration in your future.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, um, yeah, that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, actually, or
Yeah.
kind of what my where where I want to take this, you know, because I've I love writing songs and I love recording them and releasing them and sharing them with people, but the I think like the state of the music industry is kind of it's in a really weird place right now with you know with TikTok and it's like you have to be a content creator if you want to be a successful musician now. It seems like
And expose all your life and say, I'm brushing my tooth today. So
yeah
what's up?
yeah yeah, and I don't really like to do all that kind of stuff, you know. So it's I don't know. I will always write and record music and play live and stuff, and but I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how the best way for me to like share my music, I guess, you know. Um, but you know, I'd like to be able to go on tour and travel the world and play my music. That's a goal of mine, definitely. Maybe playing in you're in Bogota, right?
No, we're in Barranquilla, but yeah, playing in Bogota will be there. I will be there.
Oh yeah.
Angelica will be there if you come here to Bogota or here Barranquilla. I don't know where you come here in Colombia. We'll be
If it ever happens, yeah, I would
yeah,
love
yeah,
to see you there. Yeah.
that
I
would be
think
nice.
that's
Oh, or we are no, I don't know. We are on our studios right now looking for I don't know a scholarship, and we are looking in USA. Maybe we go for uh,
yeah.
yeah,
If you come here, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you do. I'd love
yeah, yeah,
to we'll see if we play a show here sometime if you're in the area, let me know.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, maybe I don't know. Do you have a funny story with all your music? Because people always love the story time moment.
Yeah. A funny story with that's a good question. Um yeah, like in do you have like an example or did someone else tell you a funny story lately?
No, no, like with doing the music, your music.
Yeah. I don't know if if I have a funny story. I'd have to think about that. That's a good question. Um, yeah, I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Next time that we you will come here and have the first question will be
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have some time to reflect on it.
like Dakota, do you think about the story?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, do you have? like any advice to new people that is trying to music to do projects or start with something like this? Because
Yeah.
isn't easier. Isn't easy.
Yeah. That's a great question. I would say if you want to start songwriting and recording and stuff, just start small and work with what you already have, you know. You don't need to get super fancy with all sorts of gear and stuff. Just start out really small and just write the best songs you can and just keep doing it over and over again and practice. And you know, sometimes you might not write a good song. Sometimes you will hate what you create. Um, but sometimes you write something that you might not like, and you eventually fall in love with it, and that's always a good surprise too. But yeah, I would say just keep doing it. You know, just keep writing and doing the best you can, and use what you have already. You know, so
Be patient. I think too.
yeah, it takes a long time
It's a lot.
to develop skills and to like build connections and build community. And it's being a musician is a long game, you know, if you want to be successful, I think. And I'm still playing the long game, you know. I'm still working at it. So
Yeah, it is something like step by step, one day at a time. That's it.
yeah, baby steps, you know.
Yeah, baby steps.
And just enjoy the journey, you know. Don't
The
that was one.
stress. I don't know.
I think that was one mistake I made early on. Is I was so excited all the time to like I was so excited about what I was doing, and I always wanted more all the time, and I forgot how to just enjoy the ride, you know.
Yeah, it's a ride,
So
not
yeah,
the end.
yeah, exactly. It never ends, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
pretty good.
yeah,
So, uh, we could say that maybe the high life that is released on June 9, I don't know, like 12 or 11 days ago.
yeah.
That's
12 days ago.
yeah, yeah, it's, yeah. 12 days ago. I don't know where I am.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, how all the I don't know the EP comes out. How do you create it? How do you uh, say this is what I'm doing now, guys? Take it, enjoy it.
How do I release it? How do I promote it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question too. Me and my band made a little promo video for it on that we put it on Instagram and all that, and we did some photo shoots and stuff like that, and we it was like a video of us in like a studio with lighting and everything, and the band behind me is I'm in front of the camera singing, you know, and the band behind me is like fighting each other, you know. And
yeah.
there's like paper money flowing around and stuff, and it's supposed to be like pretty goofy, you know. uh, but we use that to promote the song, and it got some pretty good engagement. But yeah, and just playing the song live too, which we'll be doing at our next few shows and stuff, and yeah, it should be good. But yeah, that's another thing I'm still trying to kind of figure out the best ways to, because it's always changing, you know, how you should market your music, and it's
Yeah,
always
it's
changing, you know.
difficult.
So it takes a lot of creativity and effort, and you know, I'm still
Price.
kind
I
of
don't know.
figuring out the best way to do it. So
Yeah, sure. And the needs that I don't know. Every day shows up a new thing, a new I don't know platform, a new way to do that. and it's TikTok, and it's, I don't know, YouTube another day. And the thing is that you you will have to fight behind fight with that, because the thing is that all days that we are here are fighting with something, and the best way to do it is, I don't know, trying slowly, baby steps, and
Mm-hmm.
doing like being the happiest person, because if you stress out and you freak out even, you won't
Yeah.
enjoy the ride. And I don't know, if you do some music, some good music, some, I don't know, art or whatever, you should enjoy it.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. I think that's what music is here for, is to enhance your life, and to
Help you.
to help you through the bad days, and to make your good days even better. So there's a song for every feeling in the world, and there's a song for every moment, I think. And whatever whatever you need to do to feel better about something, and music helps with that, I think.
Yeah, helps a lot. For all the people here with us, listening to us, guys, if you are trying to, I don't know, show up, just be patient, and it will be okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
It's all going to be okay.
or let it be, like the Beatles. Let it be.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Let
a
it be.
perfect example of that. Yeah.
Let it be. Let it be. Well, Dakota, I really thank you, because you said that you have a presentation today, and well, I'm happy. I'm honored. I'm really honored to have you
Oh
here.
wow. Thank you so much. No, this was really fun. I'm really happy to do this. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, uh, you wanna tell us, I don't know, exclusive? I don't know, maybe release something new, like this is a
Yeah.
moment, like a
Yeah.
presentation. I don't know, spam all the things that you want.
Yeah. I haven't even announced this yet, but we have I have another song coming out on July 21st.
Wow.
It's called Wild Magnolias, and I'm really excited about it. I think people are going to like it. I hope so. It comes out in 1 month from today, I think. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So that's the next thing on the list.
Well, thank you, Dakota, for being here. Is
Of course. My
like,
pleasure.
I don't know.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this will for our friends like a dream to hear you. I'll show you that messages where they send me. So
Okay.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, people, for being here with us, and see you the next week. Bye bye, Dakota.
Sounds good. Bye bye. Thank you so much for having me.
See you soon. Good
See
luck.
you soon. Oh, thank you.